Hello, hello. Bl'Artagnan here with the Terse Turk, Root Lost Chapter Lufenia. Wouldn't you know it, right after I posted my last video, they announced a TCC challenge, which that video actually qualified for, but I figured I'd go in and see if I can't pull off an Xtreme challenge, which I normally avoid doing because I'm a lazy bastard, but in this case I'm having so much fun with this fight that I said, why not? Let's try and clear this without a burst, without synergy, without Ignis or Aerith or whoever else is on the banned list. I'm sure Kor's on there. Oh, Strago's on there too. And no friend unit, because why the heck not? So we got a team of Agrias, Ashe, and Beatrix. Oh, before we get into this, be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. Consider hitting the subscribe button as well. If you want to see more content like this, I know I say this every time and it's horribly overplayed, but it does help me out quite a bit, so I appreciate it if you toss those things my way. So what do we got going on here? This is basically the same team I ran for the regular TCC challenge, and the team I've been kind of rerunning in this stage just for funsies, because basically I've fallen in love with the combination of Beatrix and Agrias, and Ashe in this case fills in real nice. I won't have access to that sweet pyramid trick I used in the last fight with Reno, meaning I'll have to time things a little bit more carefully in order to line up Mog Call, which is on Agrias, so that we can use that to get the debuffs off the party. That being said, Ashe brings a ton of damage, a ton of utility, the Paralyze, the Turn Manipulation, the EX charge. If you haven't figured out by now, Ashe is completely nutso busted, and in a really good way, a really fun way that doesn't invalidate content, it just makes things more possible in a really fun way. And I love that. So we are just about at the 80% threshold, so we're going to go ahead and bring B down to the middle there, or down to the 80% line, and use the LD on Ashe. I was thinking of the EX, but I didn't trust the splash damage, so we're going full AoE for this. There we go. Perfect. Fun bit of trivia, Agrias has debuff evasion, in addition to all of her other sweet things that she brings to the table, so don't have to worry about that. Wonderful. Not that it matters here, but as luck would have it, she is perfectly positioned to cleanse these debuffs from us. Nailed it. Feeling real good about that. Feeling good about Agrias in general. I've fallen in love with the partnership of Agrias and Beatrix on a team. They both they bring similar things to the party, but in a complementary way that I find really fun to use. And they both paladins, both save the queen as their weapons. Partnering with Queen Ashe here, I am just loving it. The thematic boxes being checked off here are just wild and wonderful, and you love to see it. So I am just having a ball. This is a bit of a difficult situation though, because we really don't want B to be taking a turn here with that shield up, because that would dispel. So we break B because the other two are paralyzed because we got lucky with Judgment Bolt. I'm gonna go ahead and take a Vein Split. Obviously, it would have been nice to Holy Knight safeguard that if I was thinking through, but it's okay. We survived it, and that's what matters. We'll go ahead and push B back, keep the break order good, and silence the other two in case this doesn't break their shields. But it does break their shields. It just, Agrias just disables her days, and we're going to use them. Actually, I didn't let Beatrix's buffs fall off. Well, actually, I think Ashe just put enough buffs on that I was able to keep Clean Hazard ++ this time. If you don't know what I'm referring to, don't watch my last video, because that does nothing good for my reputation if you see that stuff. What's going on there? So we're going to go ahead and try to safeguard that next AoE attack they have lined up. Again, we're at full health. They're not going to kill us or anything, but why not? Messing up the break order again to get that mask out of back from the yellow state, but it's okay. Messing up the break order in this fight isn't that big a deal, because you want them to be taking turns. You don't want their turns to get too far away anyway, so it's all good. That does put a lot of speed down on them, combining Kurasame, Sephiroth base call, which is still in effect, and Ashe's generic, so their turns are getting a little bit spread out, but not so much that we can't deal with it, As long as we don't, keep pushing them back and breaking them and all that stuff, we'll be okay. I'm a little nervous there. They're not ending up in the same place HP-wise. So we're going to go ahead and Knight's Pride, I think, to do some turn jumping and single target damage to keep B from going below 50%. And this was probably a mistake, but I underestimated how much splash damage that attack does. So here we are. This is going to be a... Speaking of things that I don't want you to see because they don't really paint me in the most favorable of lights. I'm going to go ahead and get that splash damage. We're going to go ahead and Hallowed Bolt. Unfortunately, we couldn't have cleansed there because, again, you know, Mog and all that. So go ahead and look at what we're... It's an awkward situation we're in here because we want to break those masks because they're in the red, obviously. Failed to break them there, but we got Ramuh for this. And they're all launchable, which is just kind of stupid, so it's okay. We'll deal. We're still in a good position. I've been in... I don't know if you've been like paying attention to the pattern in all of my fights, but basically I've been using my summon as my like get through the 50% red mask phase without letting them take turns strategy. That was kind of sad. Finally able to go ahead and Mog up. Thank you, Mog. Clearing those debuffs. Wonderful utility call there. I pulled him because I thought the goofy silence chances would be helpful, but I haven't used it for that at all. The cleanse, however, has been very, very useful to have. Obviously, Yuna does kind of the same thing for us now, but it's all good. You never have too many cleanses, can you? Nice actual good launch. You love to see it. And yeah, we're doing okay. They're not too far back on the break side of things. Putting more speed down on them because I'm a crazy person apparently. Just keep pushing them back and keeping them locked down. That's going to be the rest of the fight, basically. We don't have a friend to bring in to like burst them down like we did last time, so we're just going to have to junk them the old-fashioned way. I actually got to say, Ashe and Beatrix do, and also Reno, who I was using last time, do really well in this fight because they have so much splash damage. You don't really notice it in a two-target fight because you kind of take it for granted, but here it actually adds up quite a bit. It's pretty good. I've been trying to line up Fated Moly so that my team can have as many turns of, you know, hitting them while it's up as possible. Here I, you know, couldn't quite break B there. I think the defense spiked a bit too much, but it's okay. The other thing was we had let Sephiroth fall off, so it's back now. We'll be actually hitting them properly hard now, which is nice. Let's get that Queen's Order back up. One day, Cleamhaz will get its level a C90 and hit real good, and I can't wait for that. Basically, the future is bright for Beatrix fans. You love to see it. Aggro's keeping us safe through their shields. Oh my gosh, we love. I'm just having a ball here. This has been a really fun fight to play. It feels. I don't know why I broke B in that order. That was kind of weird, a little suspicious, but suspect. There we go. The break order is completely botched at this point. Again, it's not a huge deal. Sap Orb, probably a good thing, honestly, but. So, we don't want to exhaust our silences at this point. I don't think we're going to. I think we still have both AAs left. So we are doing fine in the paralysis situation. And that's ignoring the occasional lucky Judgment Bolt we might throw out during this last chunk of HP we need to get through them. So we want to save that, as I said, we want to save our Fated Molies to get as many turns in a row as possible. That said, I miscalculated here. I could have put it on and just had a bunch of HP damage up ready to go, but I didn't, and probably gonna pay for that. I mean, not seriously at this point. The fight's kind of in the bag. As far as extreme challenges go with this team, it's actually quite cozy, honestly, because you have so many panic buttons and emergency switches you can flip to make sure, like, you have a zillion ways that Aggrates can paralyze them. You have Beatrix to prevent HP damage, and you have Ashe for, well, AoE paralyze isn't really her thing, but that turn manipulation is real clutch, as you saw. I was able to kind of get out of a stupid situation I put myself in. The one thing we want to watch out for at this point is if you kill one of them, then the others spike their defense with those katas. Which isn't that big a deal, honestly, because this is a very battery-heavy team, but it's a minor inconvenience, and we'd like to try to kill them all at the same time if we can. So we're going to go ahead and hit them one more time with this delicious Thunder Slash, dealing a ton of damage with all the HP damage up we got going on. Beatrix is hitting like Golbez numbers on these Thunder Slashes. It's incredible. I am I am happy as a clam right now watching this. Sephiroth did just fall off of them, so we're going to be seeing a little less brave damage on that guy, but it's still kind of elementary at this point. We can go ahead and close this out with a nice little Queen's Order, and a couple of Save the Queens. I know it's not called that, but you know what I mean. Take us home, Agrias. That full AoE coming into effect. Back-to-back EXs. That felt good. So yeah, that was, there we go. TCC Xtreme for Root Lost Chapter. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Adios.